Hey guys, what's going on? Hannah Gardner from Millennial Mindset, where I teach you a bunch of stuff about digital marketing and digital entrepreneurship, whether you're looking to scale or kickstart your online biz. In this video, I am doing a full training of the Facebook Business Manager and how you can learn Facebook ads. This is a long training because there's a lot of stuff that goes into creating a Facebook ad. So I hope you guys enjoy it, and I'm gonna hop over to my computer. All right, we'll give it a few seconds here. We are going to be going over Facebook ads. So it took me a long time to really understand Facebook ads. Sorry, I sound a little sick because I have the flu, but whatever. Yeah, it took me a little while to really fully understand Facebook, the Business Manager. So remember, everything that you do when you're running campaigns is all done in the Facebook Business Manager. And I self-taught myself all of this. I basically locked myself in my house and sat on YouTube and sat inside the platform for a long ass time just teaching myself everything. And it can be a really frustrating process when you're just trying to do it by yourself. But trust me, there's light at the end of the tunnel when you finally do understand and you really can fully understand and see the power of it, and what Facebook ads can do for a business. And I think it's still really underutilized, because it literally could change like the scope of someone's business overnight, if they could do some of the things on Facebook. That is possible for at least now, until Facebook like ruins everything for everybody. But for right now, it's really, really a good skill to learn, whether you're a business owner or you want to be an agency owner or you want to do affiliate marketing or whatever you want to do. So we are going to go into that in this training. All right. If you guys are watching this live, hashtag live. If you're watching the replay, hashtag replay. Hey, George, what's going on? Okay. So, Jeff Miller is going live at the same freaking time. Okay. So one thing to understand about Facebook, this is something that like, it's so simple, and if you know it, awesome. I wish someone like told me this from the beginning, because I didn't understand like the broad spectrum of Facebook. So it's kind of like what I did, like for instance, when you're learning like a math problem, and like in order to like learn like the following steps, you have to see like the big picture of everything. And it's kind of like the same for Facebook ads. So for me, I just started learning like all these like mini parts of it that would like come later in the equation. And so many things didn't make sense to me because I didn't understand the big picture of Facebook ads or how the Business Manager works. So hey, what's going on, comp? Remember, if you're watching this live, you're watching the replay, hashtag replay. So you have to understand Facebook to understand the Business Manager. So if you come to your homepage on Facebook, right, this is your homepage. So Facebook is comprised of like a bunch of different shit. So like you as a Facebook user have a Facebook page. Oh, someone's asked me how do I get on the live call. Can I even answer this right now? Damn it. Let me message this guy back. Shit, you guys are about to see the inside of my messages. I can't click because of this thing. Okay, so you as a Facebook user have a Facebook page, right? You probably have a business page for whatever your business is. So this is my business Facebook page, right? So basically my personal profile and my business profile are two separate things, okay? And then on top of it, I have a ad account, which is another account. So just like think of it as like 3 different accounts, all right? So if I go to manage ads, technical issues. So if I go to my ads account, which I'll go back and explain this in a second. If I go into ads manager for my personal page, right? That's another account. So within the scope of Facebook right now, without even taking other clients, I have 3 different accounts, right? I have my personal page, I have my business page, and then I have an ad account. They're 3 different accounts. And then you can think of the Facebook Business Manager as like the Hootsuite or like the project manager that manages the business profile and your ad account, right? So your business profiles or your personal profile is one thing, and then your business, wait, yeah, I said that right. Your personal profile is one thing, and then your business profile for if it's like a product, if it's your personal business profile is another thing, and then your ad account is another thing. But the Facebook Business Manager, which is this thing, when this thing turns dark blue, this is called your Business Manager. This is what hosts all your ad accounts and your business pages. Okay, so this is not the same as this, but these two have to talk to each other in order to run Facebook ads, right? So when you see a Facebook ad and so when you see a Facebook ad and you see that it's coming from a business profile with like a little sponsor underneath, right? So that means that the ad is going to link you back to that business profile page, right? Because all ads need to be redirected to a business page. Does that make sense? That's why the business manager is like in charge, as I guess you could say, of your pages and your ad accounts. Does that make sense? Let me know if I just confused you guys. If you guys are following that, or you guys already know this type of stuff, just say cool. Just comment whatever you're thinking down below. But that's something I didn't understand. So like when things would start to go wrong between communications between my accounts, I was like, what is going on? I'm so confused because I wasn't having my pages set up correctly to talk to each other correctly. So in order to fix all that, if you come into your business manager, which to get to your business manager, first of all you do is you come up here and you click on manage ads. That brings you directly into your business manager, right? So to be able to see how the communication process works between all the accounts, you would come into business settings or click up here and then go into business settings, and then you will see how your accounts talk to each other. So for instance, I have my pages here and my ad accounts here. So if you needed a client or something to grant access to your business page, you would come in here, you would add page or request access, and you would request access to that page. And then once they give you access to become, whatever it is they want to become, obviously you would want to become like a moderator or like an advertiser on their page. You could do that here. And then you would, if you wanted to request access to someone else's ad account, you would do it here. Or if you just wanted to create a new ad account, you could create your new ad account here. Thanks, George. Hey, Julius. If you're live, hashtag live. If you're watching the replay, hashtag replay. Hey, Frank, what's going on? So we're just talking about the Facebook Business Manager and how you can get access to other people's ad accounts or create your own ad account. And remember, even though you create an ad account, you still have to assign yourself as the ad account admin in here. Does that make sense? And obviously, if it's your own business page, it's going to do that automatically for you here. So like Frank, or not Frank, Comp, I know if you're trying to run ads for your, for your, I think you do accounting, you would come in here and then add an account and create an ad account, because remember, if you go to your business manager, you have to create an ad account. It's not just going to show up, but your business Facebook page should show up right here. That makes sense. Okay. So that's just a little bit of a background on just like the brain of business manager, and literally any problem when it comes to like account management, like who's running the account, how the accounts are talking to each other, all that shit is going to be found in your business settings. And it's like everything's like in this like tree kind of format where this leads to this leads to this. You can see all the properties and stuff in here. If you wanted to share pixel data, which is something that I'll explain later, you would go to data source, pixels, and then like you could share pixels with like different ad accounts, which I don't know if that's too advanced, but we can talk about it later. So Facebook ads. Guys, give me 1 second because I need to get my charger. Just like wait 3 seconds. Okay, sorry. All right, so this is what the inside of an ads manager looks like right here. And I'm going to show you guys how to set up your first campaign and what all this shit means. So if you guys are still with me, hashtag live. If you're watching the replay, hashtag replay. Okay, so first things first, just to understand some of this meaning. These are really old campaigns. I don't even know when these were made, but basically, when you make a campaign, you'll hit create campaign, and when you finally publish the campaign, it's going to show up here. And Facebook gives you a bunch of data and analytics after you launch your campaign. So basically, there is so much data that you can actually track everything that's happening within your campaign. How many people are looking at it, how many people are touching it, how many people are actually clicking it. If you have a video campaign, how long they're watching it, if they're watching it for like 3 seconds, if they're watching it for the whole thing for 95%, it's crazy. And all of those things have some kind of wording. So for instance, your budget is obviously your budget. Your results is based off of what you set your campaign to do. So this campaign was trying to get post engagement. That's what your results are. Your reach is how many times it hit a single person. So it doesn't mean that they actually like looked at it, touched it, or anything. It's just how far of a reach it, like the ad actually went to somebody specifically. Whereas like an impression means that like that the same ad could have been shown more than once and made an impression on somebody. So like this is the amount of people that it reached. This is the amount of times it reached people. So like you can see that this number is higher. So that just means that the same ad was shown to the same person a few more times. So it left like it can leave multiple impressions. So that's why this number is always higher. The cost per result, obviously that's self-explanatory. How much you spent. Your frequency is how many times it was shown to somebody. So it was 1.04. So that's why the impression was higher. The cost per 1,000 people reached. Your cost per impressions. You can go to performance and clicks. Click-through rate all. So click-through rate means all the clicks that happened on the ad. So all the clicks that happened on the ad, so that could have been like a like, that could have been a player on a video, that could have been a click, like the link click to whatever page. It could have been anything. Okay. The click CTR. Wait, this was like, so this is a CTR for the link click. So as you can see, that's like a smaller percentage. So this is specifically for people that clicked on the link, like the CTA, whatever the call to action was. So like if it was like get offer or buy now or whatever the link was, that's how many people, that's the percentage of people that actually clicked the link. And then that's the link clicks. That's a link click percentage. This is showing the cost per link click. So yes. I know this is like a little overwhelming in the beginning, but as you like just look at this all day long, it's like it makes sense and it makes reading your data like really easy. So I don't think, was this a video? So video engagement. So people that watch 25%, people that watch 50%, 75, 95, 100, 1,300 people actually clicked play on the video. Let's see. Carousel engagement. That's like if I did a carousel ad, like that's an ad where it would like swipe, like it would be like multiple pictures and it would like swipe to the right. Performance and clicks. Did we already click on this? Okay. If you guys are confused on anything, we can go back over this. You're gonna understand more when we actually go in and create an ad, but that's just like a little overview. I'd say like some of the most important things that I look at is the amount spent, obviously, the cost per result. So you're always trying to get your CPR, your cost per result, to the lowest thing, right? So depending on what the LTV is of whatever that acquisition is of that one client, this is probably like the most important thing that I look at, because I want to know what it's actually costing me to acquire that customer or acquire that lead. So like if it's for a client or if it's for like an affiliate product or something that like I know is going to make me a lot of money or it's going to make someone else a lot of money, I don't care if this like is a really high number, if it's like $50 or like $60, if I know that the value of that client or lead or whatever is going to make, way more money than that. So based on whatever you're selling, this is probably one of the most important numbers. And what else? That, as long as link clicks, because you want to know what it costs you per link click. So you'll see that like a lot of people might be clicking, but like they're not actually buying anything, or maybe they're not filling out the form that you want, or whatever. And that's where you'll be able to discover if something's like fucked up on your landing page, because you might be getting like all these link clicks and then they get to the page and then like no one's taking action when they get to the page. And that's where you discover that through looking at the link clicks based off of the people that actually did the action that you wanted. So other things that are cool that are important but not like totally necessary, but for client work, for brand exposure, it's important to look at like the engagement that the actual thing is getting. So like post comments, post shares, link clicks, or not link clicks, well, yeah, link clicks, but like just like the engagement that the actual ad got. And like I said, these are like old ads. I don't even know what this was. But engagement's cool. Let's see what else we have. I also look at, so when it comes to actually like the CTR, like the click-through rates and stuff, some people like give different like percentages of based off of like what's good and like what's bad. And it's really hard because like when I first started, I was like, everyone was like, oh, like a CTR that was like over, 2 to 3% is like really good. So that means that like out of 100 people that like saw the ad and they actually clicked the ad. And so anything that fell into like the 2 to 3% range was like considered good. And so I was like basing all my data off of like the click-through rate. And I just think that it's so subjective. Like, so that's why, I mean, this stuff is like important, but at the end of the day, like you want to know how much money you're spending to acquire somebody. So like, honestly, you just want to know, like, I really just look at like what it's costing me. with what it's costing me and how much engagement that the actual post got for like brand exposure and everything. Hey Brian, what's going on? Okay, so if you guys have any questions, I know we just kind of went over a lot really fast there. Just let me know. Okay, so when you actually come to create an ad, let's just do it on my personal account. Right, so did you guys all see what I just did there? So you literally go from this page. If you have multiple pages up here, this is where you actually can switch which account you want to do it from. So I want to do it from my personal account. So you come here, create an ad. So when you hit create an ad, you have like all these options that you can choose from. You can do a traffic ad, you can do an engagement app installs, I have no clue what that is, video views, lead generation, messages, conversions. So for the most part, the only two types of campaigns that I've ever ran was either a conversion campaign or a lead generation campaign. So for somebody that's like an accountant or a mortgage broker or something like that, I would highly recommend doing something like a lead generation campaign. You can also do a conversion campaign, but the thing with a lead generation campaign is that you actually can collect their information right inside of the Facebook ad. And I'm actually going to make a conversion campaign, but I'll explain this a little bit more. You can also use conversion campaign, but basically when you're choosing your objective, Facebook is optimizing who they're showing your campaign to based off of who Facebook knows is most likely to do one of these objectives. So like if you're running a traffic campaign, Facebook's just going to blast it out to like as much traffic as possible, which isn't really the best because you're looking to optimize this based off of what you want done to your ad. Hannah, you hear people having multiple accounts. Is this where we would do it? Multiple ad accounts? Is that what you mean? Yeah, so like you can manage more than one ad account. So like as you saw on my account, I have more than one ad account that I manage. I think you personally, I think there is a limit based off of like how many you can have. I think it's like 9 or something. Like ad accounts that you actually own, but I think you can have unlimited amount of ad accounts that you can manage. So that's like another business giving you access to their ad account, if that makes sense. So when you, I hope that if that didn't answer your question, just type another question below. Okay, so when you're picking your ad objective, like I said, like you're trying to pick the objective that is optimal for what you want done to your ad. So like if you want conversions on your campaign, so like if you're selling like shirts or you're trying to get people to opt into something, you're going to want to run a conversion campaign because Facebook is going to show your ad to people that are most likely to convert based off of those people's past actions on Facebook. So like they'll show it to people on Facebook that are more likely to, make that conversion action based off of other actions that they've made on Facebook. So like if you're running like a t-shirt campaign and you're trying to get sales for like t-shirts, you want to optimize for conversions because it's going to show it to people that have converted over other Facebook ads in the past. Does that make sense? Also, when running a campaign, what numbers of audience is like the sweet spot for 5 million? Yeah, so we'll talk about that in a little bit, but it's really, really, it can be, it depends. First of all, it depends on what the ad is because it does, like some people are like, oh, he's broad, go broad, go broad. Some people are like, oh, go specific, go specific. But what you have to understand, like all those things are entirely subjective to like what the offer is. So, but I'll explain it when we get to that part where we're actually creating ads. So we're going to run a conversion campaign because most of us, we want conversions. You're usually not just spending money to like get engagement on an ad or get traffic. You're really trying to get leads or you're trying to get conversions. So we're going to run a conversion campaign. We're going to go continue. You can label these, label them so you can understand. Test ad set. Yeah, if you're running split tests with like multiple tests, it's really helpful to actually like name these, but like I'm not doing that right now, but it will help you in the future. So for this, so when you're so with the conversion campaign, you're whatever the CTA is, whatever the call to action is, whatever that button is that says like buy now, get offer, or whatever, you're leading them to your website. So does everyone here know what a Facebook pixel is? Let me know if you guys know what a Facebook pixel is. I'll go over it here in a second. So a Facebook pixel is a piece of code that you embed into your website or into your ClickFunnels or into your Kartra that Facebook gives you, and you embed it into your website, right? So then that means that Facebook and your website are in communication with each other. So whenever somebody goes into your website from one of your campaigns or from anywhere, they just find your website, it's communicating that data back to Facebook. And so what that means is that you can then create an audience. So like you can basically like make a mini file within your Facebook Business Manager that says, I want to track every type of all the people that have visited my website, and I want to track it inside Facebook. So then you can go into Facebook and say, Facebook, I want to create an ad campaign with 2 million people that have the same demographics and look just like the people that have already previously visited my website. And so that's what it's asking for right here. It's asking for that pixel data. So this is for an old company. This was an electric surfboard company that I still have their Facebook pixel and all their data like shared to my ad account. So it's like saying that, do I want to optimize conversions based off of this data that's already been collected from my website? So I can literally come in here and put in a lead right here. So these surfboards were like $9,000 electric surfboards. And so based off of everybody that became a lead in the website, it has now shared that information with Facebook, and it's going to optimize for that type of conversion and collect that data. So basically when someone goes through this and becomes a lead, because that's like what the conversion, we want leads, right? That are just like, so when they go through my website and they become a lead, it will tell Facebook that, and then it will collect that data within my campaign. Does that make sense? Or did I just really confuse you? I hope I did not just confuse you. So let me just explain that again. So so I'm optimizing for leads, right? Because that's what I want. It says choose where you want to drive traffic. So it's asking me, where do I want to drive traffic within my website? Then select a pixel or event to track the conversion. So basically, where before we were saying where we were looking at like all the different types of data, one of the columns said results. And remember that one that we were looking at, it said post engagement, because that ad was optimizing for post engagement. Well, in this case, that results column would say lead. And every single time somebody came from this ad and became a lead, it would start collecting it. It would be like 1, 2, 3, based off of how many leads are coming through from this ad. Does that make sense? Let me know if that makes sense for you guys. If you have any questions, please comment down below. So in this case, now this ad's going to be tracking for leads. Okay. So I don't really do any of this stuff, but basically, if I wanted to use a custom audience, so I'm not going to use a custom audience for this, but basically how we talked about the pixel earlier, if we wanted to use that data for like a lookalike audience for, so basically when you create when you have your pixel installed, you're creating your audiences. Let me just show you that. So you would come to pixels. We're going to leave this campaign and we'll start again. But so this is like where all my pixels are. Let's go back to my Hannah. And we were looking at the eco boarding. So the eco boarding pixel. So there's a piece of code that is inside of the website that's tracking all the data that's going through that website right now. So all the people that viewed the page, that viewed the content, that became a lead, that initiated checkout, that added to cart. And remember, these are like $9,000 server boards. It tells me when the last event was received, and all this stuff. So if I wanted to add a data source, so after that piece of code's installed in your website, you can come here, or after it's installed, it would show up here. But if you need to install it, this is actually where you install it. Where I can't do it here because this one already exists, but this would give you the option to get that pixel code, and then that's where you would actually install it. But basically, from this data, you can create something called custom audiences. Where we go, audiences. And I would create an audience, a custom audience. And then it would be a website traffic audience. And then it would be like the eco boarding pixel, all website visitors for the last 365 days. And then I would create a custom audience. And then from this custom audience, so say that here's a custom audience. This is an old custom audience. I would click this. And then I would go actions and then create lookalike audience off of this. So that lookalike audience is where I would actually create an audience of, you know, I would do the top 1% of, you know, 1 million people that look just like that that custom audience that we wanted to make a copy of. Does that make sense? So the top one, it's going to be like 2 million of the top 1% of people that look just like those people. And then that's the custom audience that you use in your ad. So it's like crazy because now it's like, oh, now you're targeting millions of people that look like, you know, look exactly like these 100 people that have already bought from me. Does that make sense? So Frank says, question, does your pixel only register people who buy or visit your site? No, so you can set up your pixel for people that just view your page. You can set up the pixel for people that took a specific action on your page. You can set up the pixel for people that bought a specific product on your page, that abandoned checkout. Like you can set up one of these audiences for all of those things. That makes sense? And he says, and if you make a campaign based on that, how do you know if your pixel is ready to be used? How many visitors? Yeah, so I'd say 100 actions would be a good point to start making that lookalike audience. So like at least 100 actions. Obviously, if you're doing it for like e-commerce, like 100 you would want to start making lookalikes for like after you have like 100 store purchases, because that's like super strong data. But that's the difficulty with e-commerce, because you could literally drop like $2,000 before you have that much data accumulated into your Facebook pixel to the point where you can like go out and like make these like custom audiences. Does that make sense? So you can install the Facebook pixel and it'll be tracking all the data, and maybe you could like go the influencer route. You can try to run some Facebook ads and just get data running through your website as the traffic's coming in, whether it's like organic through influencers or whatever. And then even though you're not like, you can set up the custom audience before you actually use it, but the data will still be collecting. So then when you finally do have 100 purchases or whatever, you can go and make a custom audience from that. Okay, so let's go back over here. So we're gonna do this again. So lead. If you want a custom audience, we don't have one. So you can come in here and you can target an area. So like whatever area you want. If you need to target, like if you're trying to do it for like a business, for like a city like Miami, say like the cities in Miami, you could put in, 10-mile radius if they're like located in downtown Miami or something. Say like their office is located there and you're trying to get people in this area. So little pro hack for this. If you're just typing in the city, it will only let you get down to 10-mile radius. But if you actually move this like slightly to like the left or something, you can actually get it Like I can sit here, grab this. I should be able to, oh, it doesn't let me grab it anymore. Well, before you could move it like manually, drop a pin. Oh wait, if I drop a pin like right next to it, let's see if it will work. Oh, drop a pin. Okay, cool. Oh, cool. So if you move the pin a little bit to the left and you want this radius to be like even smaller, like a 5-mile radius, it will let you go down even smaller. Your age, 18 to 65, men and women. English, obviously, if it's in the US, you want English. Detailed targeting. So like, I don't know, if you guys give me something that you want to target, we can come in here. Like you literally can get down to like nitty gritty based off of their parents, their relationship status, if they're complicated. So like for people that like put on their ad, their relationship, like it's complicated. So like Valentine's Day is coming up, so I'm going to be running some ads to like newly engaged people, newly engaged 1 year, newly engaged 6 months. Like you can target based off of income, interests, like so many things, like travel. Like it's almost creepy. So like, you know, when you see ads, like, you know, when you search something on the internet and then like 3 seconds later it like showed up on your Facebook with like an ad, like that's on purpose. And remember how we talked about the Facebook pixel? That's why that happens, because they have a pixel installed in their website. I also have something installed in my Chrome bar, which is called the Facebook Pixel Helper. So like if you download this Chrome extension into your Chrome or whatever, if you go to any website, you'll be able to tell if they're using Facebook, if they're using a Facebook pixel on their website, which means they're tracking your data as you're on their website. So if you download this Chrome extension, this little thing will turn green if they do have it. And so that's how you'll know if a website has this pixel installed or not. So yeah. Then you can save an audience if you want to use it again, so you don't have to set it up again later. Placements. A placement is where the ad is actually shown. So all devices, I always leave it usually on all devices, so mobile and desktop. Most of the time, most of it's going to come from mobile, but I use both. I think depending on what you're doing, for the most part, I run only feeds. If you're doing like e-com, like for a product, I would run on Instagram, but Facebook feeds is like the biggest area of where your ads are seen, right? So Facebook feeds are actually like in the middle. In-stream is like, I think like the videos. So it's like when you're watching Facebook videos, instant articles, marketplace, stuff like that. But remember, you're paying for all these impressions. So like you want to pay for where it's going to be seen the most. So Facebook feeds is where like most people are looking. So like I would optimize it by putting it only there or on Instagram. But you also have to check, because Instagram measurements for your actual creative is different than the feeds. So you can edit that, and I'll show that in a second. For specific mobile devices and operating systems, you want all mobile devices, but I usually click this because you want it only when it's connected to Wi-Fi. So the last thing you want to do is have someone click on your ad, and then they're clicking, and then they're like, oh my God, like this is an awesome thing, whatever, I'm going to buy it. And then they're about to buy it, and then, you know, something happens and they like lose connection or something, like their phone like loses service. So remember, you're paying for those people. So you want to make sure you're only showing it to people that are connected to Wi-Fi, right? Because you don't want, like, if they're in their car or they're like out and about doing something and they're not connected to Wi-Fi, like you don't want to pay for that impression and pay for that click and then them like lose connection or them get distracted because they're driving or something. So you only want to target people that are connected to Wi-Fi. Daily budget, you can set this up however you want. Different offers require different budgets. It just kind of depends on what your offer is. So daily budget is, you can split test this a lot as well. I know, like, if you run a start and an end date, right, and make this like a super high budget, like $2,000 or something, Facebook, like, I don't know if this is like 100%, but like I do know that like even though you didn't have intentions of spending the full budget, because Facebook saw that you had a super high budget, they'll like reward you for that and push you up more in the algorithm. But you don't actually have to spend it. You can just like spend the whole thing. But I mean, it's something that you could try. But I mean, if you have a client and you're running this for a client, you probably just use a daily budget of like whatever you want to use or whatever you guys agree to. So I usually leave all this just like this. Don't really mess with any of that. Let's see. Continue. So here is where you make sure that it's set linked to the right page. If it has an Instagram, you would set up with the Instagram. You come in here, you can do different types of ads. Video ads, just like note, video ads are more highly converting. Like they probably convert more than anything. I mean, just think about like the stuff that you stop to look at on Facebook when you're like mindlessly scrolling. It's usually video. Like video is the thing that just grabs your attention the most. So video ads definitely convert the highest. So if you can, video ad. Everything should be video ad. And that's where you can upload it here. Put your video in. You can do different stuff with this. I don't know if I can show you. Let's see. Where is a video? Do I not have any video? You guys are seeing all my documents. Okay, where's my salon ad? It's gonna show you my salon ad. I don't know where the video went. Okay, well, sorry. Basically, it's really easy. It's self-explanatory. You'd upload your video. You can do a bunch of stuff. There actually is a little editing tool like right in here. Frank said, no, people have done that, and the problem is others do it. And I know someone who paid $10K for one impression, so careful when doing that. Yeah, I mean, again, like your budget's like really not a huge factor in like the success of your ad. It really all comes down to like the content, the offer, the perceived scarcity. Like there's a lot of like things that go into crafting like a beautiful ad. So like your budget like doesn't, like you don't have to go into Facebook and spend like a bunch of money to figure out if it's gonna work or not. But actually that's like not, it depends. It just really depends. If you have like the offer and the creative are really like the two most important things. You know, and that's like, so it doesn't matter if you're putting like, you know, so basically, okay, so like I said, the offer and the creative are the two probably most important things, and the construction of the offer, like the actual copy that you're using. So basically, if you put like $20 behind it, and you know, you have to base everything based off of like what the value is of obtaining that customer or that client. So like if you're selling something that's like super low ticket and you just spent $100 and you didn't get one sale, like you should have stopped spending money after like $20, right? Because you shouldn't spend more in ad spend. Like you shouldn't spend more in ad spend like than what the value is of obtaining that client, right? Yeah, there's some testing, and it's hard to say that with e-commerce because the margins are so low. But I don't know, for the most part, like there's a lot of testing that's involved. But I wouldn't go out and just start spending like a bunch of money if like it's not getting results like right off the bat. Let's see if we have any more questions. Okay, so this is where you would come in. Let me try to get a video. Upload video. Oh, that's why it didn't work, because I was on the wrong thing. Where is, okay, here's a mini video. This is a boomerang video. So it uploads. And if you are running a video campaign for like a higher ticket service, like I know we might have like an accountant in here, just make sure that if it's a video and it's like you talking or something, just make sure that like in that first like 5 to 10 seconds, like before you introduce yourself or what you do, state whatever problem you solve like right off the bat, because like those first 5 seconds are like when people are going to decide if they're going to just like move on or they're going to keep watching. So this little video ad's like uploading. If you guys have questions while that's uploading, ask me some questions. Okay, come on. So you select the link where you want your ad to go. So you want it, if you obviously want it to go to your website, we'll go to your website. This is the text that you would actually put that would go above, like basically like the caption for the video ad. This is the website URL that you want to promote, so that actually like shows up underneath it. Why isn't this uploading? What's going on? Your headline. Your headline is, so whenever you see an ad, you have the caption up here, and then you also have writing here, and then there's like the button that says whatever, learn more, shop now, sign up, apply, book now, you know, whatever you want it to be. Apply now, if it's like apply to see if you won the voucher or whatever. And then whatever URL you want to display. I'm not sure why this is not uploading. There's a bunch of errors being found. Okay, let's try one more. That's so weird. Oh, there's me. There's my intro. Salon identity. Oh, of course it's not going to let me download it because freaking iCloud. I never understood iCloud. Okay, well, I can show you guys an ad on another day. I guess it's not really working. But basically, it's pretty self-explanatory. The video would pop up, and then you just add the text. You'd add your CTA, your call to action here, your headline, basically just like the website URL that you would want it to also show up inside the headline. You can also add captions there. Let's see. But after that's all set up, that pretty much finishes the whole campaign. That's the last step. The media, the format. And then basically when you'd actually launch this campaign, it would show up right over here. And it would start firing. And it usually takes a little while for the actual ad to start optimizing. What do you recommend for making a video ad, but with text in it? Like what software? If you're like new at editing, iMovie is honestly like the easiest thing in the world. iMovie is so easy. I use iMovie and it's free. I mean, there's like Final Cut Pro and everything that has way more features. It's just harder to use, but I mean, you could do like a lot more sexier things than what you just saw. What's going on, everybody? Ask me questions. I don't know if I confuse you. I'm a little sick right now, so my presentation's a little off, but yeah, I'm trying to think of more stuff. Let me show you guys the inside of another's. So this is an account I manage here. Let me see. Can you guys still see this? Cool, yes. Yes, it's on Apple. Okay, but is that for Apple? Yes, it's for Apple. But if you're using another one, there is other ones for other computers. It's not iMovie, but I can't remember what it's called. But if you Google like the easiest video free editor for a blank computer, it should show up. I can't remember what the name. I think it might start with a T or something. So let me show you this campaign for this right here. So this was really cool. So you see how it says results and we're optimizing for leads? We went over that and it was only costing us $2.41 per lead. So the LTV, the lifetime value for one of these leads, if they became a client, was $800. So that's huge. And we had 56 leads come in. So that's why I'm saying, like, the most important data that I look at really is my cost per result, right? So we're optimizing for leads because the Facebook pixel was tracking everybody that went to the thank you page, which meant they actually went in, put in their name and their phone number and their email to get the voucher, and basically optimize for that. So this is what a completed ad looks like. So, also just side note, you have your campaign level, which is the campaign. You have the ad set level, which is like if you go into your ad set level, right? You see how this thing goes into 3 separate parts? So this is the campaign level, this is the ad set level, and this is the actual ad itself. That's how it's broken down to. That was something I also didn't fully understand when I first started. And like, so I didn't understand like the brain of Facebook and how all this stuff was like set up. So campaign level is like picking your objective, right? And then the ad set level is like picking the demographics, picking what you're trying to convert for. So website lead, picking your budget, your targeting and all that stuff, your placement. That's the ad set level, right? And then the ad level, like the ad is, this is like the ad itself, like that's at that point. So this is what a completed ad looks like, which I was trying to show you before. So this is like the headline. This is like that area where you actually display where the person's URL gets shown, their domain name. And this is where the actual copy goes right here. So that was a really, really successful campaign that we had. Let's see. Do you guys have more questions over here, guys? If you have more questions, this is live Q&A time. So whatever you have questions about, whatever gray areas you have, I can go back over and we can talk about it. I'm trying to think of more things that would help you guys. So as far as like actually like where you put the pixel, so when they hit get offer, it goes into one of my Kartra pages, which I designed in here. This is something new that I'm working on. But say that, just say hypothetically, when they hit get offer, it came to this page. So this is Kartra. This is what I use to build all my pages. It's like very similar to like ClickFunnels, except way better. If you guys want to try out this software, I can send you my link for it, my affiliate link. But basically, when you want to install Pixel, it's the same in ClickFunnels. It's the same in Builderall. There's a section on your page builder where they have like a tracking section. And you take that code that Facebook gives you when you're setting up the pixel and you literally install it right where it says Facebook, embed Facebook tracking code. And once you do that, that's when, if you have the Chrome extension that we talked about earlier, that's how you'll be able to track if if it's actually working. So this doesn't have one in here right now, so let me just show you. So if I save this unfinished ugly page that I made and I publish it live, and then return to dashboard. So right now, if I grab this page, like if I actually go to this page live right now, there's no pixel in it. So this is not highlighted, right? So if I wanted to actually go and put the pixel in it, I would come here, go into my ads manager, go to pixels. I would, remember this is like a different account, so I can come in here, add a Facebook pixel. So you would do this on your Facebook pixel, enter your website URL, create, it's gonna create the code for me, right? And then I would come down here, manually install code yourself, and I would literally just click this, copy that, and then I would come back to my page editor. So I copied the pixel, come back into my page, my Kartra page. So if you use ClickFunnels or something else, there's a section where you can do this. If you use like WordPress or something, there's still a section to do this. Tracking code, Facebook, pixel, I would click here, save progress, publish live. Okay, now if I come back to my page, refresh the page. Oh, I gotta keep doing more. Okay, sorry. So I did that, press continue. Now it's asking what we want to track it for. We're gonna track this for education. And now we can say what that page, like what we want it to actually track. So like if that page is, I want like all those people to be like tracked as like they're reviewing the content. If that was like a thank you page, I would put like a purchase, which means like it will tell Facebook that all these people purchased. And then like I talked about before, then we could go make that custom audience for everyone that purchased, and then make the lookalike audience for, right, like that everyone purchased, but like a lead. So for this one, it would be just a view content. They didn't do anything yet. They just saw it. So I would actually come here and grab this view content piece of code. And I'm still, why that didn't show up? Because I didn't publish it. It still should have showed. Let's see, publish live. So I put like the base code in. Let's see. Let's see when we put this piece of code. So I grabbed that second piece of code, and it's for view content, and you have to erase the two scripts above and below it. See, apply, save progress. So all it was gonna say was like the middle piece. So we just literally grab that and put that inside the piece of code that we put in previously, so it tracks specifically for view content, and then we hit done. Maybe that's why it didn't happen. So we hit done. So now we have this new pixel being tracked down here. So now it's just waiting for it to be fired. I think it's because I didn't finish it. So we'll save, publish live. And we'll come back here, refresh the page. Yep, okay, see now the pixel is firing off. So now this web page is tracking everybody that views content. Page views, just like the generic. So that first piece of code that I put in, that big long one, that just tracks page views. So that just means like, that's just like the generic code that like every page gets. But it's specifically tracking view content. So that means it's actually tagging people that land on this page that they're just like viewers. Now, if this was like a thank you page, like they just bought a product, I would have put a different piece of code, that smaller piece of code in as purchase. So then it would tell Facebook to create a custom audience for everyone that just purchased. So it's two different forms of data that you're collecting. It's like the same thing as like making like email lists and like segmenting people based off of like what actions they took. Does that make sense? You know there's 5 of you guys still on here. What questions do you have? Anything at all? Do you need me to go more into depth on anything? If you guys are watching live, hashtag live. If you're watching the replay, hashtag replay. That pretty much sums up the baseline way of that Facebook ads work. I'm sorry that I'm a little sick and this was a little bit more disorganized than I wanted it to be. But if you did get any value from this, just put a thumbs up. And if you have any questions, you can just message me personally or just rewatch the replay 1,000 times and go from there. Live, what's up, Ron? Again, you guys, I'll give it a few more seconds. And just let me know if you have any questions. All right, I'll give it 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, guys. Thank you all for watching, and I will talk to you guys all soon. Bye.